嗨，我是Wilhelm，欢迎来到电影看游戏。
Shakuras is overrun. Loss of life is extensive. Hold. We are receiving a transmission.
Praise the gods. Artanis, you live.
Matriarch Vorazun, what has happened here?
Shakuras has fallen. The warp gate linking this world to Aiur has been reopened. Countless hybrid and Zerg pour from the other side. They've obliterated our cities, decimated our shadow guard. We are trying to evacuate the remaining population, but I am uncertain whether we can hold long enough to get them safely away.
We will give you the time you need, Matriarch. My Templar are inbound.
My Dark Templar were tracking your invasion on Aiur when we were cut off. Then the warp gate opened. What happened, Artanis?
Amon used the collar to seize control of the Templar. I could feel his rage tearing through me, and I was powerless against it. Zeratul found me. It was there that he...
Yes?
He tried to free me. And he succeeded at the cost of his own life. He fell by my hand.
It was Amon's deed, not yours.
Zeratul came to me with a warning, but I did not act. Because of this, he is now gone, and the stars burn dimmer for his loss. Amon's deed or not, I carry a burden, Matriarch. One that cannot be easily lifted.
Of all the Templar, you never wavered in the belief that our two peoples could live in unity. It is something I admired in you.
It is ironic to hear you say this. All this time, I believed you were reluctant to accept the unity I sought.
You and I had many a disagreement in the Twilight Council. For day by day, I saw my people losing what they were. I saw our precious old ways erode.
You wished to preserve them.
I am Nerazim, Dark Templar. I hold great pride in my people.
But you are also Protoss. That is the greater affiliation.
That is not what the Conclave believed when we were exiled long ago. Your kind had Aiur. Our culture is all we ever had.
Tell me, Vorazun, how will we bring destruction to your world?
The Zelnaga Temple's phase prism can be overloaded, forcing a spike of energy into the planet's core. Enough of a charge and the planet will shatter. Amon will not possess my world.
I have been thinking about this choice.
Are you reconsidering?
No. My time here has reminded me of the courage of your people. That we must fight. If we are to suffer, then so too will Amon. We will lure as many of Amon's hybrid and Zerg through the gateway as we can. Only once enough are through to wound him will we overload the temple and flee.
You mean to bleed him? Bold. But we can't risk the forces it would require to do such a thing.
Leave that to me, Matriarch. I have learned much from the Dark Templar.
Shakuras is gone. It has become one with the eternal night. But the traditions we forged there will remain with us forever.
Is that still possible, Matriarch?
More so than you may realize. What do you know of the Shadow Walk, Artanis?
Little. Your people closely guard their customs.
It is our most sacred rite of passage. The initiate stands alone. Members of her tribe strike against her from the shadows. If she endures, she becomes a shadow hunter, true Dark Templar.
Why do you speak of this?
You stood alone, as Dark Templar, against countless enemies, risking your life for the many. You have walked as we have. You have walked the shadow path already, Artanis. You no longer have the Kala. You are Dark Templar. Everywhere we journey, destruction and death. This is the future for all if we do not intervene. Amon will not rest until every living thing is under his dominion. This Terran friend of yours, he knew my mother, did he not?
Amon's reach extends further than I ever imagined.
This war has only begun. It is one that will test our every limit.
Zeratul believed that the Xel'Naga lived, and that they would aid us.
I have heard his prophecies as well. It is said that the Xel'Naga come from a world that exists where none should. From there, all life in our universe takes its root. Our forebears searched for it, but nothing beyond legend was ever found.
And you? Do you believe as Zeratul did?
Zeratul killed my mother, Artanis. I will always hate him for this. I will always hold him in the highest contempt.
Raja Gal was corrupted by the Queen of Blades, Matriarch.
Yes, I know that now. Reason has no bearing on emotion. Our kind embraces this more than yours.
Zeratul grieved for her as well. His sense of guilt drove him to uncover the ancient prophecies, to find hope for our people.
You will forgive me if I do not place my faith in the words of an exile. May those Terrans find peace in death. Karax did well. I think he will make a fine Templar. Shredded into our base particles. Yet here we stand, between universes.
Zeratul was right. It is Ulnar. Think of it, Matriarch. The cradle of all life, hidden all these years.
Yes, but why? The keystone revealed this place to us. Perhaps Zeratul knew something of value after all. A miracle has brought us here. My mother told me many stories of the Xel'Naga. Amon's forces arrived here before we did. The temple may already be under his control.
Zeratul believed the other Xel'Naga were here, and that they would stand with us against Amon. They could end the war. My people could be free once again.
Then why have the Xel'Naga not answered us?
I am going into the Ulnar Temple alone, Matriarch. I do not intend to risk any more lives.
You risk your own life on the word of a traitor.
He killed your mother, Vorazun. That is true. But he was never a traitor. I do not wish for death, only to see Zeratul's visions fulfilled.
You will return. That much, I believe. The Tal'darim had better not be lying. We haven't much time, Artanis. I will not let you die down there.
Nothing was as it seemed. We came to Ulnar to awaken the Xel'Naga and receive their aid. Instead, Amon nearly killed us. I fear Zeratul's prophecy is no longer clear to me.
He was closer to the truth than I thought. The Xel'Naga did rest here. Had they lived, I think they would have given us their aid, just as Zeratul said. If nothing else, I will grant him that.
Matriarch, your words surprise me.
Perhaps your counsel has proved influential in some regards.
Then I will endeavor to give you more of it.
I said some regards, Hierarch. Not all. Of all the planets in the galaxy, they chose Slain for their homeworld. Many of the Tal'darim still hate us. I must keep my people safe. Whatever shall we do with this Malarak? He is quite unpleasant. This chain of ascension is a despicable practice.
It is how the Kalai once thought of the Nerazim's Shadow Walk.
There is no comparison. Our society was not founded upon...
Their culture is one unyielding hierarchy, servant to master, a constant reinforcement of their bondage to Amon. But they have been lied to, Matriarch.
And how could this change if it is all they have ever known?
Our people once only knew hatred of one another, suspicion.
Yes.
We viewed your practices as barbaric, and you viewed ours as cruel. It is the same with the Tal'darim, with the destruction of Amon, and the revelation of his betrayal. I expect their entire society to seek out who they truly are, and what they wish to be.
Artanis, you should know my fear of the Tal'darim is not of the now, but what becomes of them if Amon is defeated.
You fear they will never integrate with our society.
They share our blood, but they are not like us. You know in your heart that may never change.
It is true. A great battle may loom on the horizon ahead of us, but it's a risk we must take.
It is a great risk.
The dawn of a unified Protoss requires much. Like the threads of a cloth, we must come together and be stronger because of it.
To think what we become with their culture influencing us, changing us.
Yes, we will be changed. And perhaps that is what you fear more than battle. The path ahead is uncharted, Matriarch.
Every course of action we can take will come at a price. What would the Conclave think of Dark Templar weaponry? Surely they would have banned it too. The rulings of the Conclave mean nothing to the Nerazim. We must discard the past divisions to pursue the future.
Seeing Phoenix once more perplexes me. I feel sadness, but I should feel joy.
It is said the warrior Phoenix was felled by the Queen of Blades. This approximation is not Phoenix, but he is a reminder of the loss you suffered.
His voice, thoughts, his very presence. He describes memories we shared with such vivid recollection. Every instinct I have tells me that this is my friend, but all logic defies it.
We, of the Nerazim, often ponder whether our people are the sum total of their experiences, or are more than them. A truth lingering inside us. In time, we shall see if this Phoenix has his own truth, or is little more than a flawed forgery. We received a report from one of our colony worlds. Amon's forces are destroying their neighboring planets. They barely escaped in time. Endion. It is hard to imagine what it must have looked like before the Zerg invaded. If they are anything like Phoenix, the Purifiers have potential. Why was Endion chosen as the world Cybros was to orbit?
For thousands of years, it has been a research retreat. Here, Protoss scholars secluded themselves from political affairs to focus on the task of devising technology that would benefit the Empire. The Psi Matrix was first conceived here. When it was decided that the Purifiers would be shut down, they became a symbol of achievement, but also the dangers of it.
So they were brought to a research colony.
Where better than a place where our greatest scientists resided, constantly improving Cybros' stasis field.
And how many resided on the world below?
800,000 Kalai, a contingent of Templar.
I only hope their deaths were swift. I think we are all pleased by your success with the Purifiers. Well, except the Preserver over there. You are bold, Artanis. Sometimes a little too reckless. But it has worked in your favor. Aiur. Some of my people are seeing it for the first time. They were born on Shakuras and have only heard tales of our homeland.
They will see much more of it, now that the power of the Keystone is within our grasp. Zeratul spoke truly. It has ushered us unto hope.
Yes, though not as we initially suspected.
Still, his tireless devotion brought us this chance. I will forever honor him for that.
As shall I. I cannot begin to understand the depth of your sorrow, Artanis. Such noble Templar, now made a monstrosity. Those left, trapped in a body controlled by Amon.
It is the most horrific of fates. But what pains me is the uncertainty of facing them. They are my brothers. Sisters. When we strike these abominations, Will our brethren bear witness within? Will they be silent watchers? Or are they already lost to oblivion?
I can offer you little comfort or surety, my friend. But know what you do is the only course.
Can you sense the hope, Matriarch?
I do. If we succeed, we will have a new chance to forge the unified society we strove for on Shakuras.
We will preserve the traditions of the Nerazim. They will not be forgotten.
In time, they may be. I fear losing our old ways, Artanis. But as we've worked with the Tal'darim and the Purifiers, I now see that it is inevitable. Traditions must change as we do. A day may come when we leave behind the Shadow Walk, just as you have abandoned the Kala and the caste system.
That is the price we must pay to become truly one people.
So I have come to believe. Preserver, I do not appreciate you staring at me.
I have been reliving memories. Your people, the Nerazim, were branded heretics. Yet my eyes do not see the evil the Conclave feared.
Our people were separated by ignorance as much as malice. To live together, we must see each other as we truly are. As Protoss.
Face the Harbinger of the Dark God's wrath!